Hello everyone and welcome to my new video. This video will be an advanced guide to zoning for Skarlet, and it will be a little bit more theoretical than actually practical, like my last video which I had some zoning tools and zoning setups and strings of different zoning tools and so on. This will discuss a little bit more the theory, the strategy, the technicalities behind zoning, and hopefully it will give you a better outlook at how complex zoning is. If you were waiting for a video that would solve all of your zoning problems without having you put work or use brain, well, this is not it, and it's probably there is no video like that. Zoning is quite complex and requires a lot of critical thinking. It requires a lot of thinking outside the box. It requires a lot of monitoring patterns and kind of reading the opponents as well, and a lot of frame data knowledge. So I hope this will help you, and let's get into it. So the most important thing when it comes to, the raw zoning is that people seem to underestimate the power and the value of trades for Scarlet when it comes to fireballs. If you hit the trade against any pretty much character that has fireball options but that doesn't knock you down, if you hit the trade with a tentacle, you're always going to be at a great place to restart your zoning. So don't be afraid to take trades. I will show you what that means, for example, against Liu Kang, right? You read that the fireball is coming, you act, oops, you act accordingly. That's a win. And you're gonna start your zoning again from there. You can start also with a blood bowl, depending on what you're feeling that your opponent will do. But generally, you're gonna be in a great position taking trades, and there's a lot of life to take trades with, as long as the fireball option that you will be trading with doesn't knock you down, doesn't put you at severe disadvantage, or doesn't hit you with a crushing blow. Just feel free to take the trade and restart your zoning as Scarlet, because it will give you pretty much a full screen zoning again, and if they don't have teleport, that is huge for Scarlet. Now, it's important to understand that zoning is not just a concept of shoot as many things as you can in the least amount of time and hope that nobody will touch you. Zoning is a pretty complicated aspect of fighting games, which comes with a lot of knowledge, with a lot of thinking outside the box about situations, with a lot of understanding of your opponent options, your opponent patterns, your opponent frustrations, and the intricate interactions between the two characters' options. So a lot of people seem to think that good zoning is just keeping somebody away, the least with the most with the least effort as possible. But this doesn't really work like that, because if your opponent is good, they're gonna start and inch their way in. So every single time you are zoning somebody, you need to understand what they do in different situations, how they act, how much they know about the matchup, and so on. You need to also understand that zoning doesn't mean staying away all the time or running away all the time, especially if they have good chasing options that are fast and non-reactable. Stuff like, Sub-Zero slide. You can't just keep backdashing once he's inching in, because at some point he's gonna throw an EX slide and you're not gonna be able to block it on reaction if you're not expecting it. So Zoning is a little bit more than that. Zoning is also understanding your anti-air options, because people will start jumping on you because they will get frustrated about, all the stuff that you can put on screen. They will start walking under your, crouching under your fireballs and blocking your blood trails or your tentacles on reaction and slowly walking you to the corner. You need to understand how not to make your teleports predictable, because they're punishable if they're looking for it, if they're fast to react, and how to, get in and out of spaces while still controlling the flow of the game and while still having your options as valid, as strong as possible, if your opponent was to close the gaps. So, for example, if we were to talk about anti-airs, down 2 is it's your universal anti-air. Pretty much every character in the game has it. Some are better than others, of course. Um, Crouch 4, like down 4 into tentacle is also another option, because it will set the opponent back full screen. All of this set you back into the zoning um, frame of mind, so to speak, because they will lead onto a knockdown. Any, anti-air will lead into a knockdown in a way or another. So you can use that to your advantage. When there is like a little bit of a little bit of space or a lot of space, you can still use all your options well to reset the zoning. So all of these are good to decent options. There's also, depending on the range, you can use your what's it called, your overhead. So you have different options, and it's very important to anti-air very well with Skarlet. So that means reading your opponent frame of mind when they want to jump, because some opponents will, some characters will have options that are really hard to react startup wise in neutral while you're still trying to defend the air. So there's a concept called passive ground control, which means that you still have your options on the ground when they're, just kind of walking on you to keep them at bay, stuff like, that, or stuff like this and so on. But if they were to jump on you, you should be ready with your anti-airs. So, or, forward 2 into tentacle to try and keep them at bay a little bit. All these options kind of get away from the pure zoning thing. They're of course tool to restart your zoning, but they're not part of your zoning. And this is how a great zoner actually plays. They're ready for all situation, not just, getting their projectile to do the work for them. Um, Another thing to think about is how to deal with characters that have teleports, especially because most, if not all, teleports in the game are better than Skarlet's. So you need to be on the defensive as well. You need to know how the teleports in the game work, when they can come. For example, like Cetrion can do it while in the air, when most other characters cannot. Well, not most, but some other characters cannot. So you need to be ready there, and you need to know what the options are as well, and react accordingly. You can't just, be chucking all of this stuff against, for example, a Scorpion, or against a Raiden, against characters that have fast teleports that can punish you. So that goes a lot with reading your opponent's mind and understanding when they want to throw that option and react accordingly. Some of them can just be punished. Like if you're ready, for example, for Raiden's teleport, you can just do a 1-2-4 into Fireball to absorb life, or into Tentacle. But some of them can also be performed to be far. Like, for example, Skarlet's teleport normal one goes behind the opponent, but the far one stays on the other side, and you have the back one as well to stay in front. So a lot of times it's about not only reading the teleport incoming, reading also which teleport is coming. So you want to be in a position where either you choose to hard commit and do 1, 2, 4 as a punish, for example, once again for raid and stuff. But if they go far away, then you might want to do something like a backdash, because a lot of the teleports, a lot of the players, not the very good ones, but a lot of the average player would do a far teleport and then come in with a fast option, like Raiden's knee into wheel or whatever. So that also goes with great zoning, understanding what are the options, when they might be coming, and how to react accordingly, and how to minimize risk or maximize gain. New tool for Skarlet is well, not new tool, but improved tool with the patch is the back 4. This is a knockdown that is -12 on block and -17 on flawless block. The -12 is really, really hard to punish, especially for characters that don't have special reversal that move very fast horizontally. I think like at the moment only on top of my mind at least only Sub-Zero be able to punish a -12 if they're looking for it, and if they get the reversal window. It's 10 frames slide. So no, not reversal window, but pretty tight. So it can be extremely viable, and it can also be used as a far anti-air as well, which many people forget. Oops, too early. And it can give you a little bit of breathing room and so to speak zoning capability, because you can already get out of that range a little bit. So on block, once again, is punishable, but if you don't overuse it, it's fine, and it can also help you with setting up the fear of them being swept and you getting away, so they might get anxious and start jumping a little bit more. So it's all little tools really that you have to use very smartly. It's not easy, because once you get the pressure from your opponent starting and getting in, especially heavy rushdown, heavy pressure characters like Jax and Jackie, it can be really, really harsh to deal with. More zoning tools that we need to be aware of. One of them is probably not primarily taught as a zoning tool, but it would lead into a situation where you can start zoning again, and that's your amped parry. Now, not only this move, it gives you life back, it also sets the opponent very far. Oops, a little bit too early. Basically full screen, so you can start your zoning. This is only the amped version though, because the normal one just leaves your opponent right close to you. So I was saying, not only it gives you the frame advantage and the knockdown, but also you get life back, and it covers lows, sorry, not lows, mids, eyes, throws, command throws, and physical specials. Basically, it only uses to jump ins and lows. Also, another thing that you need to think about, once again, is the teleport. Teleport can help you in so many situations, so always remember that the range is what you need and what you need to aspire to at all times. So don't be afraid to just walk back, dash back when you think you're safe. And if they're close in distance, teleport away. Don't get predictable, because it is punishable, but literally keep using your zoning options, getting back. The bars come back pretty fast in this game, and just use the bars to get away. As I was saying, unfortunately the normal parry doesn't really lead to zoning. You can set up good meaty situations, like with the option select meaties, with the option selectable meaties that I was talking about in some of my other videos. But overall, it doesn't really restart your zoning, and it's not really where you want to be with Skarlet, at least for extended periods of time. overall, I need you to remember, guys, and I need you to understand that zoning is so much more than chucking all your options at once and hoping it will work. It requires a lot of knowledge, a lot of understanding, a lot of thinking outside the box, a lot of reading your opponent's mind and their frustration, what their risk reward ratio is, because some opponents, some players will literally just go in, don't care about any consequences, while other will be methodical and evaluate and be patient. So you need to understand who you're fighting, and you need to memorize their patterns and act accordingly. So I hope this video has helped you, and I hope this video cleared some little aspects of zoning that maybe are less taught about, less spoken about. I want to remind you that I have a Discord that I coach people for free in, and I do stream on my Twitch. Everything will be linked down below the video in the description. If you like this video, put a like on it, put some comments in the comment section, share it around with your friends, follow my stream, follow my YouTube, just usually what you do to support people that create content. Thanks a lot. Bye.